So you've been wanting to make money online working from home, but maybe feel a bit lost on where to actually start, right? Maybe you've been thinking about selling products on Etsy, but feel a little bit overwhelmed at the thought of opening up a shop. If that's you, you're absolutely in the right place, friend. As a multiple six-figure seller who's been on the Etsy platform for over 8 years, I've learned a thing or two about growing a profitable Etsy shop. Not only do I want to help you reach financial freedom in your life too, but I want to give you the shortcuts that I had to learn the hard way to get you there faster. And part of that is starting your shop right from day one. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 steps that you'll need to take to get started on Etsy if you're wanting to open up shop and start making sales online today. All right, let's talk about step number 1, which is to decide on your product type. Think of products that can be sold on Etsy in 2 main categories, physical and digital. The physical product category would include anything from handmade items to print-on-demand items that are physical to vintage and even party and craft supplies. Digital products can be thought of in 2 subcategories, which would be instant downloads and made-to-order files. Instant downloads are any digital files that you've already created that are uploaded to your Etsy listing, so when the customer purchases, they can instantly download the file and have it to use. It requires no customization on your end, so it's literally just a ready-to-go file for them. A made-to-order digital file on Etsy is where your customer purchases something from you that does need to be customized or personalized a little bit on your end as the seller before you deliver the final file. So in many cases, this is where you're working back and forth with your customer, communicating with them, getting their customization preferences and requests, creating whatever they've ordered, and then delivering that final file once it's ready. So some examples of these 2 digital categories could be for instant downloads, maybe like a wall art print that's already created, they can instantly download it and print it out as wall art. Or a made-to-order file might be something like a custom branding package for a business owner that you're creating from scratch, specifically according to their preferences and customization requests. So you've got all of those different categories under physical and digital, but it's your job to decide from the very beginning what's going to be the best fit for your specific product type that you want to sell. To find the perfect product type, I recommend considering a product where these 3 categories intersect. Number 1 is skill and resources. Number 2 is your passion or interest. And number 3 is market demand. So number 1, skill or resources, is basically asking yourself, what skills do I already have, or what skills could I acquire or learn to be able to create this product? And going along with that is resources. What resources is this going to take? Different types of products take different levels of investment and resources as far as materials, equipment, software. So you'll need to think about what you already have access to or could in the near future gain access to realistically be able to create this type of product. And second, you want to consider your interests. What are you actually interested in? What would you actually enjoy creating for the long run? You don't want to get into creating something that you just don't enjoy at all, because it's a really quick way to burn out fast. So you want to find something that either you are already skilled at or could become skilled at, that you could easily gain the resources for and that you're interested in. But all of that is for nothing if the 3rd category isn't in place, which is market demand. It has to be something that is profitable and something that consumers actually want to purchase. It can be really tempting, especially as artsy people, to come up with something super unique that we love ourselves, but no one in the market either knows about it or it's not highly in demand. It's not something people are actively searching for. Again, not to say that you can't offer this product type, but you're much more likely to end up with best sellers that make a lot of revenue if you take a clue from what's already in demand and don't try to reinvent the wheel here. So part of this comes down to doing some market research to figure out, well, is the product type that I'm thinking of actually in demand? My 2 favorite ways to do product and market research for this is using Etsy itself and also using one of my favorite tools, Sales Samurai. So Etsy is sort of the first step to this. It's totally free to do research on Etsy. And what I would recommend is that you go onto the Etsy search bar and start typing in a keyword phrase for something that describes the product you're thinking of selling. As you begin typing, see what predictive phrases Etsy auto-populates, because these are phrases that have recently and consistently been searched by shoppers on the platform. This is a great way to quickly get clues as to what keywords and what phrases around that niche people are already searching for. Now you can go one step further and work with the Sales Samurai Chrome extension in conjunction with this. So Sales Samurai is an Etsy-specific research tool that I absolutely love and use. It provides Etsy sellers with data so that we can make data-driven decisions in our business and not just guess on things. So you can do things like keyword research, competitor tracking, shop audits. It has a ton of different features, but one thing I love to do is use the Chrome extension. So if you get the Sales Samurai Chrome extension, when you start typing in a phrase into that Etsy search bar, when When those predictive phrases come up, it'll have a little blue number by the side of it that shows you from Sales Samurai the estimated number of monthly searches for that keyword phrase. That's the estimated amount of times that people are searching for that specific phrase on the Etsy platform. So to go further with this Sales Samurai research, you can actually click on the number to the right where it says more, and the Chrome extension will pull up a whole list of similar or related keyword phrases to what you typed in, showing all of the data on those phrases from estimated monthly search volume to competition. And you can look at the information for these and also scroll through that list to get ideas for similar or suggested keywords that you might be able to use for that type of product. When we're doing market research, we want to specifically be looking for the keyword phrases that are a little bit higher in search volume, which proves that it is being searched on the platform, and somewhat lower in competition, meaning that there's not as many shops offering it. When you can find a combination of a keyword phrase that's highly searched but not a lot of competition, this is a clue that it might be a great area to break out in. If you're interested in trying out Sales Samurai, I have a free 3-day trial linked in the description box of this video for you. You can try it out for free for 3 days and see if it's something that you might be interested in using for your Etsy shop. And when you sign up, make sure to use the code KATE20. That'll give you 20% off if you decide to continue using Sales Samurai beyond that free trial window. Big thanks to Sales Samurai for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I know you're gonna love it if you try it, and I know it's gonna help you up-level your Etsy shop from the very beginning. All right, moving on to step number 2, which is to source and prepare what you need. Here I'm mainly talking about supplies or software. For physical product shops, you'll wanna source where you're gonna get your supplies and materials from. If at all possible, I always recommend sourcing from actual wholesale companies as opposed to retail stores like Target or Michael's. You're going to be able to buy more for a lot less and therefore price your items less and be more competitive if you're purchasing from actual wholesalers. It can be tricky to find actual wholesale companies online, but if you do a little bit of digging, you can look at places like trade show websites at their list of suppliers to find companies that actually are true wholesalers. If you're thinking of selling print on demand, part of this step would be to research and compare different print on demand companies to partner with. You want to go ahead and decide who your POD provider is going to be and get your account open with them. For digital product sellers, part of this step would be to decide what you need to start creating your digital designs, what softwares or tools you might want to use. This could be Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, it could be Canva, it could be something like Affinity Designer or Procreate. There are so many different tools and resources available, but you want to do a little bit of research to figure out, according to what type of product you want to offer, what the best software for you would be. You might also want to look at websites that you would possibly purchase digital elements or fonts or graphics from that you would use in your designs. These are websites like Creative Fabrica, Placeit, and Creative Market. Now we're about to move on to step number 3, but I want to let you know I have a free gift for you for being here today. It's my on-demand masterclass. It's a 60-minute in-depth masterclass where I go over my 5-pillar formula, which is the exact system that I used to bring my Etsy shop to multiple 6 figures and have used to coach thousands of my students who have also seen success. If you're wanting just a complete deep dive into full Etsy strategy, then I recommend after this video you click on that link in the description box below and go ahead and watch that masterclass and get started on the right foot. Again, that's linked in the description box below, or you can go to etsymasterclass.com. All right, moving on to step number 3, which is to set up and customize your shop. Of course, you'll need to actually open up your shop, set up your account on Etsy, and go through the initial setup process, which is pretty easy. You'll just go through the prompts that Etsy provides as you set up your initial account. It'll ask you things like some personal information, the shop name that you like, you'll set up your billing account, and you'll create your first listing. Don't worry too much about that first listing. It really can just be a placeholder until you get to where you're ready to create actual listings. All you'll need to do for that is just upload a picture to it, input the information it asks for, and you can always deactivate that listing later. Don't feel the need to get a ton of listings up yet. You can always do that later as you develop your products, but you do want to go ahead and get your shop set up and open so you can start customizing it a bit. One of the first things that you'll need to do to customize your shop is to add your branding. These are things like your banner image, your logo, your profile picture. You want all of that to feel really cohesive and put together from the very beginning, giving a really professional look. Make sure that you also complete your about section and your policy section within the settings in your account soon after you open it so that all of that can be ready to go and complete. You can even go ahead and add some shop sections to your shop that you'll assign your listings to later to add some organization so that when buyers land on your shop, they can navigate it easily and find what they're looking for. You can do all of that in your settings within your shop manager. Once you've got your initial setup done and customized your shop a bit, then it's time to move on to step 4, which is to create and list your products. The first part of this step is pretty self-explanatory. You want to go ahead and start creating your products. This is the fun part. Then once you have some products finished and ready to list, you want to think about 2 main things while you're creating your actual listings. These are images and SEO. These are, in my opinion, the top 2 things that are super important to have in every single listing. You want to optimize this and level this up as much as possible to get your listings, number 1, discovered in the search, and number 2, to convert them into sales. So first step is images. This is talking about the actual photos on your listing. You have 10 photo slots, and I would encourage you to use most of them, if not all, if possible, to show your product from different angles, staged in different ways, showing different details so that your buyer has as much information as possible and they feel more confident knowing what the product is. So if you're a physical product seller, you can either take your own photos of your products or you can hire this out to a professional photographer. Either way works, but if you're going to do it yourself, you definitely want to look up some product photography tips to know how to work well with things like lighting, backgrounds, and even editing your photos some afterwards. It might sound intimidating, but it's really not that hard, and there's so many free resources out there to learn these kinds of tactics easily, and you can definitely do this on your own. But if you have a little bit of a budget, you can feel free to hire this out to a professional as well. Now, if you're selling print-on-demand items or digital items and you don't actually have your physical items in hand, you can use mock-ups for your images. Mock-ups are simply images that are already taken and they're blank so that you layer your own design on to show your buyer what it might look like on the real product. Mock-ups are an absolute lifesaver for digital and print-on-demand sellers because you don't have to tangibly, physically have your product in hand to get images for it. You can find mock-ups to use on a lot of different websites. You can purchase them on Etsy itself. You can also find them on places like Creative Fabrica and Creative Market. I'll have all of those linked below if you're interested in looking at those resources. And then the second part of this step is SEO. This stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this is basically the process of using smart keywords that are highly searched on the Etsy platform and plugging them into specific places in your listing to be sort of like a clue to the Etsy algorithm as it scans all of the listings, determining which ones are the right fit for the shopper who just searched for something, that your listing is the right one to be shown and ranked high in the search results. You can do similar keyword research with Sales Samurai, like we were talking about before, to find keyword phrases that are highly searched. And then you're going to take those keyword phrases and plug them in specifically to 5 places in your listing. These are your title, your tags, your description, the category, and the attributes. You want to plug in and use those keyword phrases in those 5 parts of your listings strategically to help the Etsy algorithm identify what kind of product you're selling. And then once you have your listings created and well optimized, you want to put them up on your shop and move on to step number 5, which is to market. All of this work that you just did to get everything going is really for nothing if you don't promote your shop, promote your listings, and actually get the word out that you have a shop and that things are available there. There are a lot of different ways to market and promote, but my favorite is to use social media and to use collaborations with influencers and even other sellers to feature each other and tap into other people's audiences who are already established to get traffic to your shop. You can do this on a lot of different platforms, but one great way to do it is to post in relevant Facebook groups that have to do something with your niche. You want to make sure that you're following the rules for those Facebook groups if they have specific days of the week or month that they allow business posts on, but getting the word out that way and also reaching out to influencers, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or another platform, to feature your products in exchange for giving them free items or even paying them a little bit if you have a budget. You can also do joint giveaways with other sellers. If both of you have somewhat of an audience, you can combine, do something really fun together for both of your audiences, and then you're both benefiting from each other's audiences going over to the other one. This way you don't have to start from scratch and you can really hit the ground running with your promotion and get some eyes on your shop. I'm a big fan of doing lots of fun things as incentives in the beginning for the audience that you're building to create some hype, to create some excitement, whether this is offering a flash sale, discount code, coupon codes, giveaways, whatever you feel like you can do to get some excitement and momentum going in the beginning is awesome. So there you have it, friend. You have now created your shop, optimized your listings, and started growing your audience to promote to. And if you follow these steps, you're already going to be far ahead of most sellers when they first start on the platform. Now remember, if you want a deeper dive into specific Etsy strategy, I go way deeper on all of these different points in my 60-minute Etsy masterclass. It's completely free to you and you can watch it on demand, so I'll have that linked in the description box below, or you can also go to etsymasterclass.com and learn from my signature 5-pillar formula, which is the system that I use to bring my shop to 6 figures. Now, maybe you already have an Etsy shop and you're just not making many sales, or maybe you're worried about not making many sales from the beginning. So if that's you, I actually have a video on why you might not be making Etsy sales. You can just click or tap on the square on the screen right now and hop over to watch that video. Happy selling, friends!